Jason,
Yes, Tony Hawk.
you know who's here?
No.
Or is coming here?
Who's coming here?
Alex Farrara.
Nah.
Do you know who that is?
Is that the guy with the ramp?
Manramp.
Yeah, right. No, he's not.
Yeah.
Why would he come here?
I don't know. I don't know if he can fit with the plywood.
Wait, if he comes with the board?
He's coming as Manramp, so I don't know. I assume.
Right. So he can't. Right. He can't come as man. He has to be man ramp.
I don't know. Wait, look.
Whoa!
Who's here?
How you guys doing?
Manramp.
Oh my!
He is. He
It really
came
is
with
happening.
the wood.
Wait, he's wrecking the studio.
It's okay. Who needs a skate park when you've got Manramp?
right.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk. Are you looking for a delicious and nutritious snack that packs a real protein punch with tasty, healthy, wonderful pistachios?
Perfect for enjoying with your family and friends or taking them with you on the go during your summer adventures.
Check out wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more about how these little green wonders can power up your day.
Have you taken the plywood to Venice?
Not yet. I've only been to Venice a few times at the park, like 5 maybe, but...
I imagine at this point, you have a reputation in the skate industry. I imagine at this point that if you went to Venice with your wood,
Yeah.
it would be chaos.
Yeah, I think whenever I've been to skate parks with the plywood, it's a madhouse, and I don't know everybody's abilities, so when they hit the plywood, it's dangerous for them and me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. That's a
Wait, how can it go
liability.
bad
I didn't
for
really
you?
think about that.
Sorry for being clueless,
Oh, no,
but if
no
you're
problem.
a man ramp and someone hits the ramp, how does it hurt you if they do it wrong?
Occasionally, the board will fly off, hit me in the face,
Yeah,
or
Oh,
or
imagine.
they'll
That's fair.
fall on top of the plywood like a body slam, and I'm holding their entire weight,
Yeah.
and it just squishes me.
so you're saying instead of launching, they just collapse on you?
That can
That's
happen.
happened.
Yeah, it's happened. They might go to the side a little bit and like grind the side of the plywood and go flying forward.
Why do they? Who approaches?
But that's what I'm saying is that he
depends on the
shows
person.
up and they all want to try it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They get hyped up the crowd. Next thing you know, somebody with less ability is like, I could probably jump man
Yeah.
ramp too, and,
Yeah.
they're wrong.
Yeah, it's
But that's fun for me. Like if I'm there and some
Yeah.
guy slams, no offense, you know what I mean?
happened.
But
No problem.
I mean, there is comedy involved in your deal, right?
Those are great clips. Those are all
Right.
acceptable. Yeah,
And you
Yeah.
seem like a pretty tough dude. Like you can take it, right?
I try. Yeah, I do my
And
best.
what's the worst injury you've had as a ramp?
I would say Steve Mull, his skateboard hitting me in the ear. Like his board came to my face. I turned last minute, got my ear, and I was bleeding for a little bit.
Inside, bleeding out of your ear hole.
Just like kind of
Oh,
pinched the top part and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
punctured my ear. So that's one, and then the other one was like a hand injury. I was again with Steve. I was
Steve seems like a good guy you can trust.
He's a great guy. I trust
Yeah.
him with most things.
He's rammed his skateboard into your brain
Yep.
and into your hand.
Well, the hand one was he was going up for a ride-on grind, and I was getting up to run to the bottom of the rail to be the landing as well.
Mm,
In the process,
makes sense.
I grabbed the wood with this hand and I plant on the ground with this hand, and I think I tore a ligament in my hand when planting, and so my hand got swollen. I couldn't quite grab the plywood after that, but nothing crazy overall for injuries. Maybe like a head bonk. We worked with a snowboarder, Forrest Bailey, and he hit this massive air and like smacked his tail on my head.
Mm.
It was like almost concussion, I feel like.
Oh,
but-
wow.
It was with the hard hat.
Yeah, with the hard hat, but even still, it shook me up. And there's a photo of it, and my face is kind of like, it's like really awkward because there's so much pressure from his snowboard hitting my
Were
head.
you lying in the snow?
I was standing up.
Oh.
I was just going for a nice photo of him like smacking my head with a.
I've seen the clip.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you're
It's-
not
it's
a ramp,
legit.
you're just a man, but you're still an obstacle.
Yes, but I prefer being a ramp. You know, I
Right.
feel at purpose. So
How
it's
did this
nice.
start?
That helmet doesn't seem safe. It seems like it protects the very tippity tip top of your head and nothing
Yeah.
else.
Well, that is true. I've looked into other helmets,
Like a
there's,
full face helmet, but that doesn't give off the vibe, right? It
That's
doesn't
true.
show the
Yeah.
stash
Yes.
or the glasses.
This is traditional for a construction site. So
Is it?
You know, well, a nice
Is it the
hard
wrong
hat-
size?
No, does it look wrong? Does it look wrong?
It looks a bit
It's just
high, right?
but,
Is
but
it?
that's
Am
how
I
they that's
wrong?
how they sit.
Well, if you look at
It's
it,
a hard hat. It's not a helmet.
But
It
a
has
hard hat's always that high off
see
his
how
yeah,
head.
yes, they
it
are.
sits.
Oh.
So
off the
you don't
head.
have the hard plastic on your forehead
Yeah.
on the top of your head.
Oh.
I look taller now.
That we're
It looks,
used to.
You know, a little bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I think I'd rather die. That thing looks terrible. But for you with the overalls and stuff, it actually does. You look pretty sweet.
Well, thank you.
You
I
kind of look a
appreciate
little gay, not in a bad way, but you look like are gay guys into you because of your stash and
I
stuff?
mean, I think I've heard from some friends that I'm pretty popular in that community, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good to see.
Yeah.
Good to see positive, accepting man ramp.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't like discriminatory ramps.
No. I mean, who does?
You're right.
That's why
Some
they're-
people do. You'd be surprised. A couple people out there that love it.
No, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Good to know you're an
I have a
open-minded
question that I've
ramp.
always wanted to ask you.
yes.
Have you ever watched Bob the Builder?
I think I just missed that when I was growing up.
Yeah,
so you're
that's
saying
what-
watched
yeah,
it.
because that Riley was not of that age, but my son Spencer was, and
Yeah.
he's 24.
So you didn't get it off Bob.
No.
This is you.
This is me.
How
Has
did
anyone
you-
ever yelled Bob the Builder when you walk by?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bob the Builder,
Thank you.
Tim Allen, Home Improvement, like all those things where it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
in construction.
And you got an emoji.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Turned out pretty good. Little construction
That's
guy,
pretty cool.
So.
How did this all start?
Well, I think the first time I was a ramp, I was 8 years old. It was
a
a
ramp.
sledding thing that was going on in my family. It was like, I think it just snowed. It's Thanksgiving, like 1997. I was in this small sled, and then my brothers and my cousin were behind me in a 3-person sled. And we were all going to go down and hit this big ice jump. And so I go first, I hit it, they're right behind me. But when I hit it, my feet go over my head, and I land, smack my head on the ground, and I stop. And their sled hits the jump, actually lands on top of me and rides away like pretty smoothly. So I think that's my first time being a ramp. It
Yeah.
wasn't my favorite experience,
Right, fair enough.
but that's technically the first time. And then since then, I think it was with the Mole Brothers, with the Warble crew. We were in Vermont, and we had a piece of plywood, and we were trying to get creative, like using it in different areas and stuff. But the plywood is a little skinny and flimsy, so took it upon myself to get below the plywood, reinforce it. They got some wall rides on some brick walls, and then Dave Mall did a tail drop off like a tree branch pretty high up into the plywood, and all this is like pretty brand new to like the technique and stuff. So it was like pretty sketchy and wasn't smooth, but yeah, that was like the first time. And then after that, we decided to do a full video and just like, all right, let's just run with it. And it's just, put out 3 minutes of footage of me being a human.
You
ramp,
definitely put yourself in harm's way. I've seen this stuff, like
Yeah.
getting to the bottom of the rail, carrying people, and I mean, you carried me across my gap and my ramp,
That
so
was
thanks
scary.
for that.
Thanks for trusting me with that. I didn't want,
Yeah.
didn't want to be the one to kill Tony Hawk, so I had to be very
It's always going to
precise.
be me. Don't worry, no one's to blame if I get hurt. It's
Yeah, if
always
you
me.
killed him, that would be his fault because you're
Yeah.
so stupid for letting that dude do anything with you.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, this guy calls me and goes, "Hey, bro, let me carry you around your ramp." I go, "No,
Like,
can't trust a guy with that mustache."
he did. He
You
made a
don't like
platform
it?
too that we did inverts on.
What do you mean?
He made a platform like a deck above the deck.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like 4 feet up. And
He
then-
was the deck above the deck,
Yeah.
holding
Right.
it up.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
my head and my hands were like this.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then you went up, did a hand plant. And
Yeah,
I think Jimmy Wilkins did a back lip pop out.
yeah, of course.
That was messed up.
one time a girl liked me. She was stupid, but I made her hold a pole. Ha! That sounds funny. In the air on the ramp in a bikini and high heels, and I did frontside nose grind on it.
She was being a ramp.
Yeah.
A rail.
Yeah.
Your
Did you
head on
really
top.
like put all your weight on it with the frontside nose grind?
Nah. No, tail grabbed it.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she didn't really.
I
she
need a
was like,
qualifier in there because
Yeah.
if you went a full nose grind,
Yeah.
she
that's
didn't
a lot of
know
weight.
or care about skateboarding at all. So it was one of those things where she goes, "Is this dangerous?" And I go, "Nah, not at all."
You're safe.
And then one time I did miss my board, and my board went past her and
Oh, yeah.
hit the ground and bounced off. And she goes, well, that looked a little dangerous. And I was like,
Yes.
that won't happen again. So don't worry about that.
That's rare,
And then I
yeah.
got lucky and made it. But
Yeah.
it was kind of one of those things where I was like, no, your hand here, not here. Stay right there. Don't move it. Like,
Yeah.
it was one of those things where I was trying to teach somebody that knew zero about the skateboard world to hold a bar above her head and let me grind it.
Yeah,
But
well, it's
I
a
got
lot
the
of trust.
photo.
It's a lot of
Lot of
trust
trust.
because like we're working with the skateboarders. I'm like, all right, I know they're gonna get close or do the trick. If
Yeah.
they don't know what they're doing, it's like I'm not sure if I want to be below this plywood with them. You know.
Jason, got a new podcast partner,
Yes. Who?
The Farmer's Dog. I'm super hyped about it because my dog Lola loves it. Before driving up here, that's the last thing I did was give her that food. And
Yeah.
she was so hyped she didn't notice that we left.
Well, I've become a chef at my house. I have 5 dogs, and I prepare meals for these celebrities every day.
That's good because the company was founded by 2 dog lovers who decided to reimagine pet food from the ground up. The results of switching your dog's food from kibble to fresh can seem like magic. When a senior dog starts acting like a puppy again, and the pickiest of eaters can't wait for dinner time, you might think some spells were cast. But the Farmer's Dog doesn't use any sorcery or secret ingredients to make their fresh food, just science.
The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's developed by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from real healthy ingredients to human food safety standards.
Traditional dry and wet food dog options are highly processed. They can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim, and they're extremely difficult to portion accurately. The Farmer's Dog doesn't just send fresh, higher quality food, they also send the food pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs.
A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits, including healthier coat and skin, better breath, easier digestion, and small, better poops. A healthier diet isn't just important to humans.
Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/hawkwolf.
That's thefarmersdog.com/hawkwolf.
Who would you trust to be your ramp?
That's a good question. I would say maybe Steve Mall. He's, you know, obviously a good friend of mine, but
And if you heard him,
He's got the ramp rhythm.
payback.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so maybe he'll see what I'm going through. But I trust him because he's been around it enough as well. Maybe Cookie, Chris Colburn. He's skated me a ton of times, so he's very aware of how to kind of angle the plywood and everything like that. So yeah.
Angle the plywood.
Yeah. So
This thing has got a pretty thick lip on it.
yeah, this is like
That's just go-to, right? That's your go-to
yeah, right now
piece.
it's my go-to. I've had a number of different
Like, see how
pieces.
thick it is? And there's no metal that's, you got the dun thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's a little bit of a kink on the way out.
Yeah. So usually I'm around like 1/2 inch plywood. This is maybe just over that, but
Yeah.
but we usually don't use too much sheet metal for stuff. So there is a little bit of the catch on the way up the
Yeah,
lip,
whatever.
But it's not bad. It works out.
My first ramps were a piece of wood that was way too thick, and then my father had those metal ramps you drive your car up onto.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I just put the piece of wood on those
yeah.
things,
That's
and we'd
perfect,
fly
yeah.
off it. But I think it was also back in the 60 mil wheel days.
Yeah.
So the bonk wasn't
Wasn't
as
bad.
dramatic for me.
Yeah. I've actually done that same ramp growing up too, because I grew up in the woods.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, my dad's like, make your own ramps. Like, here are the tools, or here's some obstacles. So we had the car ramps. We had, there you go.
They just wanted in the
We
the
had
background.
the car ramps. We had the random plywood, the old bed frames. My dad's like, yeah, here's a grinder. Cut it up. Use it for.
So you grew up in the woods.
But you are a carpenter.
Yes, I build as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
so,
how did you learn carpentry in the woods?
Yeah, pretty much. My dad's like, here's how you do it. Here are the tools.
Yeah.
Go for it. And since then, I've gotten back into it, and I build as well for a job.
What made you? Because obviously you're a builder, but you're some kind of thrill-seeking builder.
Yeah.
I've worked around builders in my younger days when I was coming up. My dad had some friends, and I worked on building houses with some builder guys, and they were extreme, and they didn't know it. Like they would agree with me in saying, "Don't call me extreme. That's stupid." But there's no other way to explain it. You guys
Yeah.
are crazy bastards.
I can see that,
Are you
yeah.
a drinker?
Am I a drinker?
Yeah.
I enjoy a drink or two here and there. so,
Right.
yeah, sometimes.
And
yeah.
do you operate machinery drinking? Like, do you ever get a chainsaw and just like hack stuff when you're drunk with your friends?
I have.
I know this guy.
Because you know you feel a little more comfortable and loose. And you're just like enjoying yourself.
Yeah. I've hung out real drunk with chainsaws with these guys, and we made a chair out
I'd
of
like
a
to
tree.
offer a disclaimer to not encourage anyone to get drunk and get a chainsaw.
This is in Australia. It's different.
I agree.
You can do whatever you want in the bush in Australia. So, yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But those guys were handy. One time I rolled my car off a cliff, and they got it out of there lickety-split. Those guys don't play.
Not their first time.
They were like, because I was like, oh, no, you made a roll a car off a cliff. They're like, that's nothing, mate. We'll get it up. No worries.
Yeah. They're used to that stuff. So, but
very handy.
Yeah, but I don't drink too much when I operate tools because you have to have a little.
You
have to have a little bit of fear of the tools as well.
Right, respect the
exactly.
Right.
If you lose that fear, that's when accidents happen.
What about when you're man ramping? Is that what you call that?
Ramping, man. Yeah.
Ramping.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whatever works.
Do you get a little buzz for ramping, or you got to stay strict?
It's usually like midday, so I don't quite partake in alcohol at that point. But usually if it's later, maybe I'll have a beer or two just to kind of.
I like the idea of being the skater. Like, I don't know, man. The ramp might be a little drunk.
Right. Man, you ever?
That ramp's kind of buzzed. I'm
that's
not
a
sure
cool question to
go for this right now.
To contemplate. Like, is my ramp too buzzed for me to jump it?
That's true.
That is cool. That is a cool day.
Shouldn't have bottomed that beer.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about potentially slamming because the ramp might be too buzzed.
A 40 just down below the plywood with me. That's a little too much. But
that's awesome.
I grew up watching you guys as well. I was obviously skateboarding. I did rollerblade before that, but I grew up skateboarding at a certain point. My brother made fun of me enough to give me the skateboard. So
if he's listening, nice work.
Brandon, yeah. And so
that was a close one, door ramp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching you guys, obviously. There's the video game, then there's Boom Boom Huck Jam Tour.
Yeah.
I had the 2 VHS box set with that.
Yep.
You were jumping off stuff all the time. You're talking about a hip replacement, potentially. Remember, you're like, oh, yeah, eventually I might get a hip replacement. But
you weren't saying that?
That happened?
Yeah, No, I got a knee replacement, but my hip is sweet. Sweet as a nut. Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Remember, you guys were also in Haggard. You played a cop.
I ate Bam's booger.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was drunk, so it wasn't that bad.
It's all good. But you guys were, a huge influence on me as well growing up. So it's fun to be sitting here with you and talking.
I think it's really cool that you created something unique in our world of skating that, people try to do funny, weird stuff, and a lot of times it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not well accepted or encouraged. Mm-hmm. But you found this thing that I think is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I mean, you really do it. You go all out for it. You carry people on your ramp. Like that to me in and of itself is pretty amazing. So I think it's super cool. And I mean, I hope you still got plans.
Yeah, we have plans. We're filming more Warble videos. We're trying to, meet up with more people to get more sessions in and everything. So trying to take it to the next level still. Maybe carry more people.
Tony, mate, who are the Pretenders?
You mean the Pretenders? Chrissy Hine? Old punk band? Probably not. You might want to know who are the Contenders. We're more than halfway through the NFL season, but DraftKings Sportsbook is still pumping out unbeatable offers every single game.
Customers can bet just $5 on anything and get $200 instantly in bonus bets.
DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game this October.
Oh, mate, looking at the games now, and the Saints are -1 against the Jaguars. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, also Los Angeles Chargers are getting a little bit of help, plus 5.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a good one.
Get in the football action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now and use the code HVW.
New customers can bet just $5 on anything to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code HVW. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles in Louisiana, 21 and over age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance.
See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football. Terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms and responsible gaming resources.
What about traveling?
We did some traveling last year with our friend's band Cobra Man, and we did a Northwest tour. And then
Wait, so what does that mean if you're on tour with Cobra Man?
I'm in the skate van, and then they're in a tour bus. So we meet at the venue with them, but me and the skaters will go to spots and do that instead while they're getting the instruments ready for the show. And then we'll go to the show, party with them, do some crowd surfing, bring some plywood out maybe, and then we'll go to the next stop.
Wait, you bring plywood out to the crowd?
Yeah, I'll bring it out. I'll come out on stage, put the plywood on top of the crowd, and hop on top of the plywood and make a little crowd
like
surf
it. Literal crowd surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
down.
actually kind of hard because everybody's pushing and pulling the wood. So,
Yeah, I bet. It's like a mechanical surfboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like I've fallen many times, but obviously people there to catch me. But yeah, going on tour with the band and the skaters is really fun. And we did a tour in Europe last December, and that was great. My first time out of the country in Europe. And we did London, Amsterdam, and Germany. It was like really brief, but it was fun to like travel and go to new spots like that to try to find new locations to experience.
With our Manramp fans in Europe?
Yeah, there's a lot of fans out there, which is really great to hear.
I love seeing Halloween, all the kids dressing up like you.
Yeah.
Is Manramp accepting of like BMXs and dirt bikes and stuff?
Yes, we haven't quite gone in that world yet too much, but there are a few riders I've talked to that I want to work with, but just haven't gotten to it yet. I was at the X Games. I saw you there, but you were fled with people and everything, and so I get to say hi. But I was trying to work with some of the BMXers and the dirt bikers, but I think the time was kind of short, so we didn't quite get there. But
What do you think about participating or being the obstacle for a Manramp Best Trick event?
I think I'd have to work with the skaters a little before, maybe.
Wow.
Because it's a lot of communication from me and them.
Yeah.
That's right. What do you need from this ramp? What's the angle you need?
Yeah.
Which position's best, and I can change up based on the trick they want.
Yes.
Because there's different positions to support the ramp, and if I work with a skater
How many different
before,
positions do you have to support the ramp?
it's endless.
Endless.
It's endless, but there are like maybe 5 go-tos depending on what I'm doing.
Right.
But
Do you ever push anybody like right when they take off to
yeah.
give them a?
Yeah.
You can do that.
It's hard to time it because I can't see them.
Yeah.
I can just hear
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
feel them on the ramp.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's
Wait, you push off? You mean like when you're doing the launch ramp, or when you're doing
it's
a
like a
quarter
launch
pipe?
ramp, or even like a wall ride, like out of a quarter pipe. Someone comes up wall rides, I try to like push them back in sometimes if they want it.
Yeah.
But
I
the launch
want
ramp-
that.
Yeah,
I
me
want
too.
that help,
For
yeah,
sure.
very much so. Thank you.
So go
Thanks for
up.
offering.
Oh yeah, I'm here to help. So if they need it, I'll launch them off as well. But it's like I said, it's a lot of communication. So being a best trick obstacle would be fun, but it's a lot of variables.
I think it would be. I'm
I think I
thinking
could do
more
a
in-
Cholito on a man ramp.
that would be so sick. Or just a tail block, Manramp.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking more in terms of a vert event, because then you would just probably hold it up like an extension. That would probably be the extent of it.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
everyone, generally in a best trick, everyone has to deal with the same obstacle.
Yep.
You don't get to customize the obstacle
Exactly, yeah.
to what you're doing.
But
So-
you could do it.
Yeah. So with the extension, just like hold it up. So yeah.
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 Something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm down with that. Just make sure the plow with the bottom's flush with the coping. So if they want to ride back
Yes,
in.
please do that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So
What's the biggest ramp you've held?
it's a 8-foot long piece. Actually, this is one that I have a piece of plywood at the house. 8 foot long, 2 feet wide, 1 inch thick, and that one's usually for really tall obstacles. Chris Colburn grinded like a 7-foot tall like light box thing in downtown, and I just like put the plywood on my back, and the plywood's 1 inch thick, so it's super strong. So I don't have to worry about it flexing too much. So that one's a big one, and then there was I worked with Jaws like a year and a half ago, and we built a quarter pipe that just had the 4-inch framing on the sides for the studs, and it was like probably 4 feet wide as well. And that one is probably 100 pounds. So that one was difficult because it was a full.
Let's see, because Jaws only weighs 10, so.
Yeah. But he did like hand plants on it. He did kickflip back, disaster, revert, and so he had quite the session on it, and
Shoot.
he's incredible. So that was fun. And then the Transformer stuff we've done. We built like a full like Transformer like ramp outfit.
Yeah.
Where it's like strapped to my body with like a harness.
Yeah.
Those ones are probably some of the bigger ones as well, because there's one I had to go from one spot and then skate down this hill into a different spot. So I'm in the spot, it's closed up, you can't tell I'm there. Steve Mull, again, that goes up, does the air. I pop up, the whole thing opens up, it's on hinges and everything. I skate down the thing and I pop back down. I pull everything closed, so it's a fully closed ramp back up. And our friend Jared launches off and grinds a, doubled up picnic table.
Yeah.
So that one was probably one of the heavier ones because it's probably 150 pounds and it's strapped to my body. I had to get up, skate with it, get back down.
How do you stop?
My foot, I just skid in the ground. So I was like,
That's a lot of weight.
yeah, so I'm one foot on the board and then one other foot's kind of like just tapping the ground to slow
Yeah.
myself down. But yeah, I was a little
No, I
scared
get
of
that
one.
from a perspective of just being a person, not
Yeah.
carrying a ramp.
Yeah. I was a little afraid with that one because it was so heavy, and if I was to hit a pebble on the way down, I'm just gonna go eat shit, and the ramp's gonna land on top of me, and I'm just gonna get squished. So there was some sketch
Death
factor
by
in that
rock
one.
fart.
Yeah,
You could take it.
I like to think so, but I don't want to test it out,
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm here for it, but I hope for the best.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely crazy how it all worked out with a silly idea about being a human ramp. Where I feel like dads throughout the years have always done some sort of variation of that. It's like, oh, like here's my kid. I'll put my legs below the plywood.
That's how my dad, I did the same thing. My very first ramp, 1978, was a piece of plywood, just straight, half inch, put up on a bench that we had in our backyard. And then that was in the driveway. And then we made lines on it for how high you would go, like how cool you were.
Yeah.
And then it quickly realized, like, there's not much to this. There's not much we can do.
Yeah.
And my dad thought it was the most dangerous thing he'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
And then he built a quarter pipe.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Actually, I just found a photo of that quarter pipe, like in all its
No
glory.
way.
Yeah.
No
I'll show it
way.
to you guys.
Good timing.
What about water jumps?
We did, it used to be the Element Skate Camp. Now it's the YMCA Skate Camp in the Sequoias. There's the launch ramp off the deck into the water. And one time we were in a boat.
Man, that's a good quarter pipe.
Pretty sick, right? See
Is that
the
got
patch
coping?
there? No, it's wood, and then it was linoleum tile.
It's got
Oh, no
tile.
way.
Yeah, it had a
Wow.
tile.
Yeah, that's
Sick.
legit.
Yeah,
You've had
I'll
a lot for that.
send
Man, that thing is.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
pretty
sick.
sick.
But look at that linoleum, because y'all wanted to feel the.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work there.
So good.
But yeah, so the launch ramp and the water, we were in a rowboat at a piece of plywood. So my friend Dylan Christopher went off the launch ramp, did like I think a melon, then landed on top of the plywood. And the plywood, obviously I'm in a boat, so it goes down and the whole thing's rocking and stuff. But he lands it and then goes right into the water. So we've done like stuff like that, but nothing too much beyond that.
Right.
What's been the most complicated?
I think one that we do often is, I guess it's kind of complicated, but it's called the seesaw. It's where
I've seen that.
Yeah, someone goes up like this, and I balance the plywood out so it's flat, and then I bring it down so it's banked on the other side. So I have to like sit
You're
up,
going over a
going
pyramid.
back. Yeah, and then I have to push my feet up, and then pull the plywood to the ground so they ride down. And we've done that where someone's gone over one way and then back over the other way, so it's been back and forth. And that's like one of the more complicated ones, I guess, but we do it fairly often, so I think we have it down. But actually, in that same thing, Dave Mull, he went up the bank. I flattened it out. He did a kickflip when I was holding him like that.
Ooh.
And then I pushed it up. He went down the other side.
I was saying that when you're with a filmer and they're getting sick of you trying stuff,
Yeah.
and I understand that job is tedious and difficult sometimes, but you are literally holding people up.
Yeah.
And so when they're on a mission to get a trick, is there a point where you're like, you know what, you guys, this is a two-way street here.
Yeah, there's definitely been times like that where with Cookie, he's so talented. He does the craziest stuff. But there are times where his bails really kind of make me unsure if he's gonna get it. But I do trust him. I love you, Cookie. I do trust him, but there are times where I'm just like, I'm not sure how much longer I can take it.
It's exhausting.
It can be, yeah. Just because the angles and if someone's doing like a drop off of like a ice cream truck, like Dave did a long time ago, like off an ice cream truck into the plywood, that's like some of the worst impact because I just hear him go off the truck and I'm waiting for the impact. I can't see him. And it's just like
And you're trying not to drop too far to make him fall.
Yeah, and it's like he lands and it's like squishing me. So I have to brace and push when I think the right moment is.
Yeah.
And so I try not to do too many of those like drops into the wood as a landing, but
Man,
but all depends on the skater and how they're feeling about it, and depends on the day.
It's all right. I got to interrupt this episode because we have another new sponsor. StockX is an online marketplace reselling a curated selection of the hottest sneakers, apparel, electronics, collectibles, trading cards, and accessories.
Listen to me, man. I know all about it. StockX's innovative model features and broad range of products. Global supply access, real-time market pricing, rigorous verification process. Oh.
And anonymous transactions.
Yeah, that's it.
StockX is introducing a brand new feature, Express Ship, designed to enhance your shopping experience by ensuring quick delivery within just 3 business days. Shop StockX.com now with a $15 off your $150 purchase promo code HVW15 off. Again, shop StockX.com now for $15 off if your purchase is $150 or more. Promo code HVW15 off. Hey, I got to pause this episode for a second to give you guys a very important discount code. So listen up. Head to tryfume.com and use code HVW to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today.
Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits.
Instead of pods filled with potentially harmful chemicals, Fume uses cores infused with plants like peppermint and cinnamon for delicious natural flavors.
And it's really fun to play with. Your fingers will always have something to do.
The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. They have thousands of 5-star reviews from people just like you who've successfully switched when other solutions just didn't work.
Head to tryfume.com and use the code HVW to save 10% off when you get your Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help kickstart your positive habits.
That's tryfum.com and use code HVW to save an additional 10% off on your order today. HV Dubs.
Oh, man.
That's us. That reminds me of when we did old PAL tours, we actually would travel with all the jump ramps and boxes in the back of the van.
No way.
Yeah, so it was like me, Tommy Guerrero, who else? Steve Size, Kevin Harris, sometimes Per Wheelander, and we would have to pull up, and there'd be a parking lot, and it's like we have to pull the obstacles out.
Yeah.
Right? And so we got so bored of the obstacles as they were that we started combining them.
Yeah.
And you'll identify with this. And sometimes we'd put like the jump ramp up to a curved rail that we had. We had some small PVC curved rail for some reason.
Yeah.
And we would put that on top of the box, and then we put the other rail going down at the flat bar, but the flat bar was, you'd have to kick it up like this steep to make it work.
Yep.
Half the time we get to it, it would collapse. Like to the flat. So you're on a rail thinking everything's cool, and then you're on the ground.
Well, you're making use of the stuff in different ways. So,
But we didn't have a man ramp to hold it up.
Exactly. Yeah. If I was there, you'd have been saying,
Yes.
I got you.
Right place, wrong time. That's
for
my
sure.
theory.
No, I
with all
actually,
that.
when I was growing up making ramps myself, we used to put all the ramps in an old church parking lot in upstate New York, and it was like, middle of nowhere, so it's very quiet. And I remember one time I wanted to do a wall ride on the church wall. So I put this box there, I put a piece of plywood there, and then a piece of plywood there, and I put like a rail behind it just to support it. But it was all like similar thing, like just putting things in different areas to make this big like double banked wall ride. And luckily it only fell apart once, but like overall it's pretty safe, I think. But it's fun to like put different pieces together, almost like a collage. It's like, oh, this actually works well with this, so to approach things differently, seeing different point of view and like, all right, how can you use this launch ramp with this other obstacle? So
I love how much thought you put into it.
right?
Is that,
I
do
mean-
you have merch? Like,
Yeah,
how are you how are you making a career as Manramp?
Well, there's merch with Warble, so warble.com, and there's manramp.com as well. That has like repurposed plywood I've used as well. So there's like some keychains and some other stuff. But
Stuff that you've actually used on shoots.
Yes. Actually, a
That's
piece
cool.
of plywood I used in a lot of the Thrasher video series. I used that piece for like 2 or 3 years. And at one point, it's just like chipped away, cracked in 2 different spots. So I didn't want to use it anymore. So I used that for like repurposing for other items. And also, Warble, we have Manramp decks. We got T-shirts and some other stuff as well. So it's just fun. Work construction, enjoy myself creating things, and also work with Warble to, make some cool products and all that stuff. So
Have you ever thought of making wooden pants?
briefly once, but the idea left me. I didn't think it was.
Like if you had wooden shin guards.
It's almost like
They're
soccer
rideable?
guards.
Yeah, like and you could like plan it and then you could just wally
They
his
have to be pretty
shin.
wide.
Right. Yeah, well,
That's-
they'd be
but
wide pants, yeah.
I think you're onto something though.
You-
Or how about just go straight flat bar, jutting out from your shin?
Yeah, like if I had a flat bar right here, like I could just
Yeah.
put it there for people to grind.
Yeah.
Like I know Tony well enough that if I was Railman,
Yeah.
I could go to the ramp
Yeah.
and make him grind every single trick he does. I'm making him grind. Bink,
Yeah.
bink, bink. A little rail tap on every trick. I'll just go around
Be pretty
bonking
sick.
trucks on everybody.
Yeah. I feel like, that would be a really sick idea. Have like kind of like sections of your body
Yeah.
that were usable, whether it's like metal or like
Yeah.
pieces of plywood.
You're just deflecting skaters coming at you left
Yeah.
and right.
Have a rail on your back as well.
Boom, tail slide.
It's like a
Cricket
kung
ride.
fu, it's like a
People
kung
can-
fu movie, almost like
Wally.
deflecting things.
Yeah, like you get points if you can grind your back without you knowing that I'm coming to get your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like bonus points.
That'd be sick. I've always wanted to do this with somebody. Someone launch up on a quarter pipe and like blunt saw my forearm.
Yeah,
But I haven't really met anybody that's willing to give that a shot.
I would do
So,
that too.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
A blunt,
just can't do
So
it.
I
a
would
blunt
hold it-
takes a lot of torque, just so you know.
Yes.
To
So-
come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you
and
probably
the
know
truck
that.
bolts are going to scratch you for sure.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to do it. So if you guys know somebody, if you want to give it a go, Jason,
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
See, like
I'm down for the
that
cause.
pains me to think about being on the receiving end of a blunt.
I think it's funny.
okay.
Yeah. So I
You
would,
guys are a match made in heaven. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Down for it. Yeah. I reinforce it so you felt pretty confident. I'd be like this. I'd have my head behind it.
What about a hand plant on your forearm?
That'd be easier because you don't have to put all your weight on that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Andy McDonald did hand plant my arm
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
But we
Give it a go,
can
too.
cheat hand plants so we don't
Yeah.
gotcha.
put full weight on
Yeah.
it. You cannot cheat a blunt.
That's okay.
A blunt is all the pressure.
Yeah, you have to have the pressure to bounce back
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Been training my whole
You
life.
might
for
even be
this.
able to help. He might
Yeah.
make me better at blunts.
You let me know.
He goes, yeah, Brett, like-
you let me know what you need.
Yeah,
and I'll
give me a
help you
little
out.
launch.
Yeah. Maybe a
Send me
little
back.
Shove back.
I don't think it's going to be as
No, it's
rosy
not.
and
It's
easy
gonna
as
be
you guys are
terrible.
thinking it is.
We're both going to be so sore and demoralized. It's going to be not
Yeah,
worth it
we
at all.
can start low. I'll
But
get
also,
down on
as the
ground.
skater, you need that stability. You can't move.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it drops when you blunt it backwards, it's over.
Yeah. No, I know. I've done stuff on people, and when they move, it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
part of it as well. When being a ramp, there's always the variability of some movement going on.
Yeah.
That's why it makes it a little more difficult, but it makes it a little more fun sometimes.
I did a trick on Fridge Man once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fridge man.
We found a fridge on the street, and we brought the fridge to the ramp. And I was trying to do tricks on it, but every time I would get on top of it, it would move
Yeah.
because it's a fridge on a metal ramp.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
I got one of my buddies to be Fridge Man and get in the fridge to weigh the fridge down.
Yeah.
And
Smart.
it was like, it was smart, but it was also like, I was doing a frontside pivot on it and a backside ollie to tail on it.
Yeah.
But the frontside pivot, when I launched back off, it made the fridge do a little bit of a rock.
Yes.
And I was
so
like, if
sketchy.
it rocked back and he went down
And came down on top of you, too.
in a fridge, it would have been pretty crazy.
It would have been a great clip.
It would've been- I was gonna say,
but
that would've been a
horrible
good
for your
video,
friend,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely usable for whatever, video or something, but
Yeah, I blew it.
should have pushed a little harder.
Yeah, no, next time.
So you brought a ramp.
I did.
You are the ramp today.
Yes.
Are we gonna Skate?
Yeah, I'm down. We have the parking lot out back. You guys
Oh,
wanna give it a
really?
go? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
Keep
got?
it mellow.
What do
keep
I
it-
got? I could probably eat shit, skid across the ground for everybody if you want to see that.
That's a good
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
As long as you don't hurt him.
I'm 200.
I'm like 185, so I'm right behind you.
Okay. If you say so, man.
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I can put up my board.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm gonna die.
we'll do what we can.
Why?
Yeah,
why
I'm like so many thoughts
That's what
going
it
through my
was.
head. What
That's what
is
it-
what?
Tony knows that Jason doesn't skate that much, and Jason doesn't skate the street at all. And the last time I launched off a ramp, I for sure had hair.
What was wait? What
sure.
was the trick you were trying with Tiger that you were trying?
Oh no! Yeah,
He had a bet with
I
his
made a
son.
bet with my son.
He had a bet
Really?
with the son. He had to buy him an e-bike.
Yeah, I wanted to get it for him
good deal.
anyway, so that's why I made the
Yeah,
bet.
he was
Yeah.
going to get it for him because
Yeah.
it was it a laser flip or an impossible?
It was something that I'd never heard of because I'm old, and I was like, "What? What is that?" And yeah, maybe like you like half flip it and then flick it around with your toe 180.
Oh, a Casper flip.
That's what it was,
Yeah,
a
that's
Casper
right,
flip.
Yeah.
You got close though.
Kind of, but it was just so pointless.
But watching him skate flat,
Yeah.
Yeah,
treat.
it's fun.
yeah.
Flat
Yeah.
ground's hard.
I can get really hurt skating the flat. That's
Yeah.
the crazy
Yeah, me
part
too.
about it.
It's funny. Yeah, you get hurt skating the flat, but a vert ramp.
I feel so much
All
safer.
day.
Yeah.
All day.
14 feet.
Yes.
That's your vert ramp, right?
Yep.
14? Yeah. Being on top of that, running for you on that wall ride. I didn't want to fall in myself, but it's like,
Yeah.
all right, don't fall in, and also don't lift the plywood up too high. Keep it low enough so you can ride in.
If you
Yeah,
fall
that
into
was-
a ramp, do you know how to go down transition, or are you
I
gonna?
would just like try to go
take it.
with it.
So no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Right.
I want to learn,
Yeah.
but I don't know how.
Right. I'm just saying that answer is not no.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You
would don't just go with it.
You know how they have those rectors that are like more for carpenters?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could have those and they would still be legit.
yeah. They would
For
count.
the knee pads?
Yep.
Yeah, but they're not. They don't. They
You know
just
the
strap
knee pads?
around.
I got flooring ones that are soft,
Right.
but they're not
But
hard.
but Rector was the brand that made the original skate pads,
cap.
oh,
and
okay.
Rector makes them or
Gotcha.
did for
Yeah.
for carpenters.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I just have a pair of the squishy gel ones for flooring, but they don't have like the hard surface.
Yeah,
that-
you can't knee slide in those. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
problem.
that'd be horrible. Just like grips. and
If you
just-
can butt slide,
I can butt slide.
Yeah, you'd be right.
but the thing is you got to get your feet down there first
Yeah,
to butt slide.
I did. I remember a clip that I think is.
And when you go head first into a ramp with a board in your hand,
Yeah,
that
that'd be
makes
rough.
it hard to get to your butt.
Try and throw the plywood away.
I honestly, if I was you and I was falling with that piece of wood in my hand, I would go for the shoulder block
Yeah,
because I'm built good for that.
yeah, I'd probably try the same thing.
Yeah.
But I did see Heath Kirchart in a pool. I think jump in head first and just ride the transition. Like he's like jumped into his back or something.
Yeah, that might be him.
Yeah, that's. I thought about trying that once. And I was like, that looks.
Yeah, it sounds like
sketchy.
bullshit.
yeah, if you miss any of the transition,
Yeah,
It's bad.
it's a bad day.
Yeah.
If you grip as well and just like start tumbling.
That's not good either.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys handle the vert, and I'll just be a ramp.
Right, but we're just trying to, just in case you fell,
No, for
what
sure.
you
yeah.
should do.
Yeah, we're trying to
Don't
give you
just
some
go with
Yeah,
it. You know?
safety protocol.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I got to learn, and then
That's what
take
people
action.
do on vert ramps is they go into shock and then they stop telling their body to do evasive maneuvers.
Yeah.
And then they just fall and slam.
Yeah, or
Like when
or
you-
just or like
Yeah.
Just
When you
spaz
fall,
out.
you got to
Yeah.
go, you got to slow it down like car
Okay.
crashes. You got to go,
Gotcha.
okay, now what should I do? Like, if you can get that foot
It's
out
funny,
before
you-
that bit hits, you're going to be better.
you can
know?
see us take slams, especially trying spinning tricks where
Yeah.
suddenly something goes wrong and you don't know where you are, and you see veteran vert skaters just give up and be like, okay,
Oh, really? Okay.
this is what's I'm taking it however
Give
it
in.
comes.
Yeah.
Because you give up on trying to scramble to your feet or flip over or anything. You're just kind of like, all right, I'm backwards. Wait for the transition to hit.
Yeah, I guess
And
that
usually
makes
it
sense.
ends up okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
Usually. But when you know what I mean, when you kind of give up on that and
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, I'm going to take it. Sometimes you fall out too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
I was trying to do switch McTwist for the end, and at one point got lost right when I took off and just did that and did the exact same thing you saw Heath do. Slid all the way down on my back head first.
No way.
I was like, that was pretty cool. I'm not trying it again.
Yeah.
But that was good out.
The first time I jumped a mega ramp, I made it over the gap. And then when I went up to the quarter pipe, I was looking at it as I went up like, holy shit. And I whipped off going up the ramp and I skidded off the vert on my back, feet first, into the air, and the back of my helmet bonked the coping.
On the way up.
On the way up.
No way.
Like bonk, and then I turned around and did like a, you know what I mean? Like you.
He was man board.
Yeah.
Yeah, man
Your
board.
time, yeah.
And I
dad
had a
joke,
tank
got
top
it.
on, which was like the dumbest thing that you could wear on the mega ramp.
Yeah, sounds rough.
Nobody said anything about that. I should have called that the only other person with me that was jumping it had a motocross jersey on.
Oh, really?
But I didn't catch that. Yeah,
You gotta be aware of the surroundings. What
I was like, why
is
is he so dressed to the teeth? Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
I remember those days. The early mega days were the Wild West.
Yeah.
No one knew what exactly was happening. Danny was definitely the pioneer where he's like, no, you guys follow me. I'll show you,
Yeah,
show
but
you
it
the
was-
way.
for sure.
But in those early days,
I was there when there was no one. There was only
Yeah.
me, and you'd think the only guy that could jump it that ever jumped it would maybe pass down a little bit of knowledge on the only other guy that's going to jump it that
Yeah.
is nowhere near as good as you. And you don't tell him that he's got the wrong board, he's got the wrong trucks, he
Yeah.
needs elbow pads, he
Yeah.
needs a motocross jersey. I didn't get
Yeah.
told any of that.
he wasn't exactly a mentor.
No.
Yeah, he's just going.
But he knew what to do. He just couldn't explain it.
He helped. One time, the hardest trick I ever did, he was like, dude, you've got this. And then I made it, and he came up to me and was like, holy shit, dude, I thought you had no chance of making that.
No way.
And I was like, the only reason I made it is because you said I had it. Thanks, Daddy. That worked.
Perfect. Yeah, that's how it works out sometimes.
One of the first X Games, when they had the mega in the Staples parking lot, and they had the elevator up to it. And I went there because I was doing the commentary, but I wanted to skate it because when do you get to skate something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going up the elevator with Danny. I was like, what's the speed?
Mm-hmm.
And they have one drop in for the 40-foot gap, which was kind of the standard. And then he's like, do not pump. Don't pump.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. So I go down. I didn't pump. I came up. I can see the landing, and I'm not really going to get there, but I'm going to get to the flat before it.
Yeah.
Because there's a gap and there's flat.
Yep.
So I jump and I just like caught my feet on the flat, tried to run, and then come back around. And I'm like, I came up short. He's like, we got to pump a little bit.
Yeah.
That was that.
That's it's not great advice. Like, hey, don't pump like you usually would. Just a little.
The best advice I ever got.
Well, it was contradictory to the first thing I heard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The best advice I ever got from Danny is the first time I ever went down the mega ramp, he didn't give me any advice. And then as I went down it, as I was going down it, he went, oh,
Too late.
and I turned around and went, what? And then I went, and flew over the gap. I don't know what he said to this
It was your
day.
Johnny Rad moment.
Yeah.
Hey, don't touch the thing.
Yeah, I swear it was
What's
like that.
Never mind.
Oh man, don't forget to. I'm like, what?
The first time you guys saw the quarter pipe is 25 feet, right?
It was 20.
20?
Yeah.
What'd you
The
guys
first one?
think? Like,
Yeah,
first one
Point
was,
X.
Was
that?
20?
Yeah.
it's like, what'd you guys think? Because that was,
Oh, you mean Super Ramp or Mega Ramp? Because there's two different ones.
what's Super Ramp?
Super Ramp was the one that didn't have a big roll in. It did, but not like Mega Ramp was even bigger.
That's right, yeah.
Super Ramp was a half
The one I'm talking
That's
about,
right, yeah.
X Games, was 28 feet
Okay,
quarter pipe.
gotcha. So like the first time you guys saw that, was it like kind of like blowing your mind? This was like where skateboarding kind of came.
It was
to?
right when I remember. It was right when that movie came out. Where George Clooney gets drowned by the big wave. What's that movie?
Perfect storm.
The Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
And there was always the preview of the giant wave, you know what I mean, that they were going up.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's that.
made that
It
connection.
looks like you stand on the flat and you look up and you're like, it's the wave.
It just keeps going.
It is
just keeps
amazing.
going.
It is amazing to be a veteran vert skater and to go up to the top and ponder a tail drop and you question yourself and you're like,
Yeah.
I know I can do this.
Yeah,
but
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure.
gnarly.
You'd think that I'd make it.
But also, if you use your regular setup, as you hit the flat, you get speed wobbles.
yeah.
Like instantly.
Well, you get it as you get there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so you're not going to be able to jump that thing because you're going to be going way faster.
Yeah.
So then you got to get the whole crazy 215s, hardest bushings, crank them
The
down.
craziest
all that.
part is the first jump of the day. Like when you get
Yeah.
used to it and you've done it a bunch,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. First one of the day, skateboarders don't have brakes. So the first one of the day, you go down the roll in, and every time without fail, the wind would go in my eyes and make my eyes water.
Yeah.
So now my eyes are watering, and you know what I mean, it's like lunchtime. I'm a bit stiff because I skated it yesterday.
Yeah.
I do the backside 360, and it's like I think I'm okay, and then I land, and my heart rate goes up 1,000%.
Because then you're faced with the quarterback.
More tears are coming out of my face, and then it's like, whoa, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to live. And then I go down, like either knee slide or I make it. But there's a good second there. I'm like, how dead? No, okay, every time.
Just panic.
So
You don't know where you are for a second.
Yeah.
how do we incorporate Manramp to Mega?
Harness
That's
me
where
in
we're getting at.
somewhere.
I'm trying to bring this full
He
circle.
could be on the landing of the gap.
Yeah, actually,
You could do that.
because you get a pretty consistent landing zone, and
Yeah.
you're still not. It's not going to come down hard because it's that
going
arc.
that way more than it's coming down on you.
Gotcha.
But
But if he comes up short, you're dead.
yeah, and
Explode.
because we were
we're
used to
both
seeing
both dead.
yes, absolutely.
I hit a giant board and you
No, I
at
feel
50
like
mile an hour. Yeah.
Well, it depends on how short you're coming up. If you're coming up a little short,
Yeah.
you're going to hang up on his ramp and probably carry the
Yeah,
ramp
that's
with you.
okay. Hang
and
up
he's
is
fine.
okay.
I can also see that and then lower the front if need be.
Ooh,
can't
now you're
see
talking.
that.
If need be,
If I go,
can
hey, I'm coming up short. Oh, no problem. Let me just angle it.
Let me just say that you're probably not going to be able to tell that in that
for
moment
Sure. I'm like looking
on the
back.
fly.
Yeah. No, I'm
Is
going to
he
have to
lower?
scream it. And you're going to be like, wait, did he say short? You're going to be like, short.
Shark
That
or
means get your head
Yeah.
covered because I'm about to crush it.
Could also be, you can also like board side the side of the plywood. I can hold up like this.
Nah, that'd be good.
You can just like kind of
Yeah.
fall into
Oh,
the board
yeah,
side.
okay, yeah.
So it could be something like that as well.
Okay, well, to
look
the
forward
next
to-
generation of
Yeah.
mega big air skaters,
Good luck, kids. Yep.
give them a call
Yeah.
because that ship has sailed over here.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a safety harness, put me somewhere high up, and let's get
All right.
going.
Hey, thanks for stopping by the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And
Nice to meet you,
let's
man.
skate.
You too. Real pleasure. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good luck. It's awesome. I love what you're doing. I think it's super cool, and I love that people are emulating it, and I hope you keep evolving it.
Thank you. I feel
Can't
very
wait to
lucky.
meet Lady Rail, Woman Rail.
She's out there somewhere.
So, yeah.
Like it. Describe it. Ride it. See ya.